So the ship's self-destruct must be faulty because it makes an explosion, but it doesn't instantly incinerate literally everything in the ship. Because that would inconvenience our characters, and we cannot have that. Oh, I guess the teleporter room has a pass-through to the outside for reasons. Gee, how convenient. So the ship tilts left and everything starts sliding down. Why is everything falling to the planet when 10 seconds ago I could have sworn they were in orbit? And it can't be the ship's gravity malfunction, because the way it would be designed is that the gravity pulls you to the ground or it's off. Like, do you guys not know how gravity works? So everything slides down toward the planet below because the script mandated the ignoring of actual physics. Buzz grabs the highly unstable crystal that did not blow up during the initial explosion because the script also told it not to. The armadillo then falls past Buzz. Wait a minute. If mothership tilts, everything falls, including Buzz and the crystal. But the armadillo waits 5 seconds to fall. But why and how and for what reason? And the XL-15, you remember it, my ship falls right after the armadillo. Why didn't they fall as soon as everything else? Were they waiting for their cue? So Buzz deploys his helmet in the nick of time and falls toward the planet. Then the ship explodes. Again. Do you not know how self-destruct sequences are supposed to work, Angus? So Buzz is definitely dead again. He's fine. He's just fine. He's fine, all right? Shut up, he's fine. So Buzz then slams against the XL-15 with an unimaginable amount of force. So Buzz is definitely dead. He's fine. He's just fine. He's fine, okay? Shut up, he's fine. So Buzz hangs on to his tumbling ship for dear life and manages to insert the crystal into the ship, even though all those G-forces should be scraping him off. He then climbs around and grabs the already open cockpit window. Buzz gets into the ship and then starts his engines, thus gaining flight. Woo. Wait, where did his helmet go? Last time we saw it, the thing was implied to be inside the cockpit. Where did he go? Would it be the first thing to inexplicably disappear?
Buzz Lightyear mission log. We destroyed the Zurg ship and Zurg himself. Now we just have to catch up to the armadillo.
Going somewhere.
Whoa, that was an effective jump scare. Wait, weren't you stuck in the bridge when the ship exploded? Teleport again! For crying out loud! So you're telling me that the 8 seconds that Zurg had left, he ran, got a jetpack, got out of an airlock, managed to survive both explosions, and caught up to Buzz in the XL-15 without Buzz noticing. I guess this is one of the things I'm just not supposed to think about.
Buzz Lightyear mission log. I now have the crystal in my possession. And finally, at long last, finish the mission. I'm gonna go back and matter again, Buzz.
He can't hear you. You're in space. Also, didn't your time ship just explode? How exactly are you planning on going back now? I guess this is one of the things I'm just not supposed to think about.
It will be like you were never here. So prepare to die.
Oh wait, his feet do have thrusters in them. I can't possibly think of a single instance those would have been useful where you didn't use them for no reason.
Not today, sir.
Oh boy, I can't wait for another tiny poop. Oh, so now the unstable fuel source explodes. So Zurg he's fine. He's alive in the post-credit. He's fine, okay? Shut up, he's fine. Now Buzz is tumbling through space, and all the rookies inside the armadillo decide to scream.
Back to the planet's gravitational pull.
G-Socks. I would have never have figured that out if you hadn't told me. Wait, how are you hanging onto that lever? You have no finger.
Gonna crash? I'm afraid so.
But don't worry. Buzz to the rescue. Wait, this looks familiar for some. Buzz catches up to the falling ship and attempts to slow its descent with his thrust. Oh no, he lost his laser. Wait, he's just a guy in a suit. You know, just ignore all the times he should have died because I guess the writers mixed Buzz up with that other guy, Mr. I think religious people or backwards dinosaurs play. Buzz should not be able to affect the ship in any way. He has the arms of a human being. No super rocket pack is going to change the fact that he's trying to redirect the course of a falling object with his human arms.
I can't do it.
No duh.
Buzz, it's okay. We can.
Wait, shouldn't you be having a panic attack? Oh, who even cares anymore? Let's just finish this dang movie already.
Can you keep the ship steady?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a nice shot. So Buzz steers the ship up as it enters into the atmosphere.
Okay, Socks, use the emergency battery to power up flight controls. I'll need a co-pilot.
Okay, but I've only done this in the simulator.
Oh, finally! Mo is going to actually do something. That is not an accident. It only took an hour and 28 minutes.
Remember, pull back on the yoke, nice.
So Mo messed up again. Why am I supposed to like this guy? He ruins everything.
It's not working. We're coming in too fast.
Ivan, going too fast!
Wait, how is the autopilot even...
Congratulations.
What is this?
We don't need confetti, we need brakes!
Oh, you think?
Air brake.
Roar!
I wonder why this isn't the first thing they tried.
It's stuck.
Wow! Whose bright idea was it to put the air brake underneath a jammable sliding door? Someone in the universe should have gotten fired for this. Someone in the real world should have also been fired for this. They probably were.
Cover, it's stuck. I need a screwdriver or a hair clip, some sort of a small wedge.
I've got the pen!
So, Darby unjams the door and pulls the air brake, and the day is saved. Now is the time where I rant about the stupid pen. Set up, reminder, and payoff. Very simple to understand, correct? We all already know about Chekhov's gun, and basically every writer worth their salt employs it in some fashion. But in Lightyear, it's more like set up, reminder, 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 payoff. You're paying attention to it so many times, you think it's going to be really important. They're going to do something really awesome with it. But it's just a pen, and then they don't do anything awesome with it. I know that you think the audience is stupid and forgets things. But do you really need to repeat the reminder step like 3 extra times? Really? And what kills me is that Mo doesn't even get to be the one who saves the day. That's freaking Darby for no reason.
I think Mo needs an arc. I have this idea for this pen. That's also cool, but those are two different. Pen could be his arc.
Mo doesn't have an arc because he literally accomplishes nothing. His arc, quote unquote, completely revolves around something he just happens to own being used by someone else. This is not an arc. Say what you will about the first Michael Bay Transformers film, but Sam at least got to be the guy who shoved the Allspark into Megatron's chest. Mo gets nothing. Nothing. He achieves nothing. He adds nothing. Why is he even here? Is he literally only here because Taika Waititi is a funny haha man? Now, when we first see the stupid pen, I bet your immediate reaction was, okay, that's saving the day in the end somehow. And if it wasn't, it was probably one of the 3 times Mo pointed your explicit attention to it for seemingly no reason. It isn't a pleasant surprise. It's a foregone conclusion that's beaten over your head repeatedly. It's not satisfying to watch. So when the audience asks themselves the question, for whatever brief moment, why is there a pen in there? The only logical answer is the meta one, that this is a setup and nothing else. There is nothing disguising the pen's role in the story. And that is also in and of itself compounded by the contrivance of the air brake being underneath a jammable sliding door. Like, not only does the ship not have a cover on the fuel cell eject for no reason, not only does it have confetti launchers in the cockpit, no, that's not stupid enough. No, we need to think bigger. We need the air brake to be underneath a jammable sliding door. Who wrote this? No, where was I? All right, the day is saved.
Is everyone okay?
The cops! Everybody run!
Wait, it's just the rescue team.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, you thought they were after you, and your first decision was to get inside a non-functioning vehicle. Even the comic relief bits in this movie don't make any sense.
You seem like a decent citizen. What led to your incarceration?
I stole the ship.
Oh, that's it? The mystery behind Darby's past? A joke? Nice.
Oh, well, who among us hasn't stolen a ship in a moment of relative desperation?
Actually, yeah, would you mind explaining why you did that for no reason again? Oh, hey, look. is the deacceleration rings. Neat.
Okay?
I was in space.
Grandma would be proud.
She'd be proud of you, too. She always was. Wait, where's your crystal?
Gone.
But your mission. You wanted to go home.
What was the mission again? Can I please have an answer? No? Well, also, I thought Buzz's motivation and plan was to get everyone home and not just himself. Oh, who cares?
You know, the first time in a long time, feel like I am home.
By the way, I am literally traumatized by the revelation that time travel and changing the past are indeed possible, and I will always live with the existential dread of that, on top of seeing a future me kill my constant robot companion before my eyes while I was unable to do anything to stop it, even though I was being stupid. But let's ignore all of that because we wouldn't want this children's film to end on a downer, would we? Well, I guess despite the flaws in this film, this is a nice moment. So of course that means something completely random is about to happen for no reason. Wow! It's almost as if I've watched this movie before. I guess they are all about to die. Oh, who am I kidding? Another thing just as random as the last is gonna save our heroes, isn't it?
Look out!
What?
Wow! It's almost as if I watched... Really? That Cyclops didn't hear them coming? Really? And the Zap Patrol. They're carrying guns. I couldn't possibly think of a scenario where those would have been usable before.
Lightyear!
I guess they're back at base now.
You absconded with Star Command property, stole an experimental spacecraft, and defied a direct order from your commander. I ought to throw you in the stockade.
Then why aren't you?
But I have other plans for you. We want you to start a new version of the Space Ranger Corps. You're gonna be a Space Ranger again, Buzz.
Wow, you've nuked the movie with one line. Again. So Burnside is making a new Space Ranger Corps. What happened to the old one? Did it dissolve? And if it did, how would you know about that? I thought you guys had no communications with the wider galaxy. The entire plot literally happened only because you had no communications. You know, because if they had them, they would have called for help and they wouldn't have been stuck here for a century. When did you get the communications back? Did you get those back? Is that even what happened? These are not the questions I should have to answer myself, Angus.
You can hand select your team from the very best of the Zap Patrol and train them to your liking.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline. I already have my team.
You've got to be kidding me. These guys? Really? You want to spend the rest of your days as a space ranger having to work with these bumbling clowns? Well, okay. Darby and Izzy are mostly fine. Socks is the ultimate plot device, so you'd be an idiot not to bring him literally everywhere. But Mo, like, really? Why would you go out of your way to have Jar Jar freaking Binks on your elite squad? All this ignores the fact that Burnside gives Buzz the offer to select any of the Zap Patrol as his subordinates. But no, we need our happy sappy ending regardless if it makes any sense in universe. So now all of them get toy accurate suits. That doesn't make any sense at all, but I'll get to it. Wait, why aren't the suits glowing in the dark? Toy Story 4 forgot that too. How did you forget they're supposed to glow in the dark?
All right, team. We've picked up a signal in the Gamma Quadrant of Sector 4. We don't know what it is.
But it's probably bait for a sequel that isn't gonna happen.
We're not gonna wait for it to invade our home.
Copy, Commander. You can count on us.
So everyone gets into the box ship. Do you remember the box ship? I remember the box ship.
My ship!
As members of the Elite Universe Protection Unit of the Space Ranger Corps,
Elite Mike.
we've been charged to protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from any sworn enemies of the Galactic Alliance.
Galactic Alliance? What's that? Like, this is an odd thing to only mention the existence of now? Now I'm thinking about it. The wider galaxy of this film has no world building whatsoever. The only world building in this film revolves around cool tech stuff and the Takani Prime colony. Like, there's no mention of a wider universe except that, well, Earth exists and that there is a wider galaxy, which is like super basic. So what is this Galactic Alliance? Is it new? Has it been a thing since the beginning of this film? Like, it wasn't mentioned before? So, I guess this is the Republic from Star Wars or the Galactic Federation from Metroid or something? How do you screw up things this basic?
Hello.
Good to have you back, Ivan.
See? He went on a character arc. First he hates autopilots, now he doesn't. 5 out of 5 stars.
Ready for launch. Ivan, initiate hyperlaunch.
Oh, you just broke the movie again. So, that crystal was a key plot point in Buzz's character arc, theoretically at least. Socks made it, then forgot it, and Buzz went on in this adventure trying to protect the only thing capable of giving everyone back to Earth. Now, let's just ignore how contrived this scenario is for a second. That is the story we were told. But in the end, in order for everything to not get erased, he has to blow up his mission, and he has to be okay with everyone being stuck on this world. Psych! Turns out they can go to hyperspeed anyway! Hey, turns out that thing that we made it seem like it was final, guess what? Yeah, it wasn't. Isn't that fantastic? The formula was trapped on the now smashed computer, and Socks forgot it for no reason. Now that crystal is bye-bye kaboom. I guess the scientists only managed to figure out the formula after the program was shut down 80 years after it started, and they were just trying to recreate something their civilization had already mass-produced, presumably. Boy, that's dumb. Either that or they managed to recover the data from the crushed computer, and they had the formula for the 22 years Buzz had been in space, which actually works out worse. Because that would mean Buzz was going through all this trouble to deliver a valuable resource to the colony that they already knew how to make. And that would also mean that Zurg wouldn't have needed to steal Buzz's crystal at all. Maybe that's the reason he had all those robots trying to get through the shield. Maybe. And that would also mean that the cadets would have probably known that Command had the formula and just neglected to tell Buzz about it for no reason. Similar to how Izzy and the others decided not to tell Buzz that they had no combat experience and that Izzy was afraid of space while planning an important combat-heavy space mission. So if we're being honest, this wouldn't be too out of character for them, somehow. And this movie is just awful. Now I'd make this line funnier.
That commander was going to arrest me for stealing the XL-15. Found a way to get them home. They didn't even care.
Probably because they already had the freaking formula, and it was Socks who made it. So as far as they were concerned, you stole a shit to make sure that something worked, when in their eyes, they already knew it worked. Wait, the split in the timeline was a week ago. That means that the Burnside that tried to arrest Zurg was also planning on starting a new Space Ranger Corps, and was willing to let Buzz lead a portion of it, unless the Zurg ship exploded is what changed his mind. And he wanted to arrest him just for doing that test flight, while he was planning on starting a new Space Ranger Corps. And they don't even bother to ask for the working fuel back, assuming they didn't already have it somehow, and just went straight to arresting him. It was always silly to hinge Zurg's motivations on this, but now it's just even sillier somehow. This also would mean that everyone would have been completely receptive to Buzz just releasing the formula publicly, as opposed to the stupid steal a ship ploy, and that would basically make everything past the 20-minute mark even more stupid than I initially thought. But most importantly, I cannot believe they managed to fake out death a freaking crystal. Also, Mo gets another pen for some reason.
All right, Space Rangers, here we go.
To infinity
and beyond.
Wait, if this is the movie the toy is based off, why is the voice recording shout it? Because he never shouts it in the film. I guess this is one of the things I'm just not supposed to think about. End credits. Ugh. Well, that was certainly a movie that I watched. You know, I'm just gonna go out and say it. This is worse than Cars 2. I mean, they were bound to top themselves eventually. This actually might be one of the worst films the worst film I have ever watched. Wait, no, actually, you know what? That isn't strictly 2. I have watched Transformers 5. I do know what the heat death of the universe feels like. I mean, I also watched Speed Racer Race to the Future. Oh my goodness, I watched that thing. But yeah, even if it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, it's still very bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was terrible. Now, I might be finished talking about the film chronologically, but yeah, where do you begin to examine a train wreck? I have to write like conclusions and thoughts, because as much as it is fun to nitpick, oh yeah, none of this makes any sense, the film does actually have deeper, more fundamental storytelling flaws, like deep-seated ones that require an entire rewrite because they're that all-encompassing and bad. And like, they're the sort of flaws that you would think that you wouldn't make if you went to film school. Like, just basic fundamental things you wouldn't think anyone would get wrong. Like, embarrassingly wrong. But, you're gonna have to wait a while on that because I need to make those videos. So yes, I might be done talking about this chronologically, but there's still more to come. There's still gonna be a part 9 and a part 10 because I'm not done with this film yet, unfortunately. Wait a second, how is Spearhead Bot still alive? I thought blowing up the ship deactivated all the robots. Angus, what the fuck?